Welcome to this explainer. We're going to unpack a massive shift happening right under our noses. Today, we're looking at how artificial intelligence is fundamentally redefining the very backbone of global infrastructure. You know, we hear a lot about AI writing emails or generating cool images, but the stakes here, they're vastly different. We're talking about billions of dollars in heavy machinery and the global supply chains that we all depend on. So what actually happens when you plug next-generation intelligence into the massive hardware that literally powers our world? Let's find out.
Let's start with the big question on everyone's mind. You've probably seen the endless headlines about AI software displacement, right? Algorithms taking over coding, writing, administrative tasks. But hardware displacement on the factory floor is a totally different beast. Whenever a new disruptive technology pops up, the immediate fear is replacement. So, is AI coming to just replace traditional manufacturing hardware? Are we looking at a future where physical machines are swapped out entirely for server racks and cloud algorithms? Well, as we dig into the data today, the answer might surprise you, because the reality is far more collaborative than the rumors suggest.
Section 1. The Foundation of Factories.
Okay, so if you're watching this, you probably already know about the PLC, the Programmable Logic Controller. It's been the undisputed muscle of infrastructure for decades. We aren't dealing with a new concept here. These are the quiet, stubborn workhorses running in the background. Whether we're talking about a massive automotive factory, intricate power systems, or the critical infrastructure that literally keeps our cities running, PLCs provide the reliable muscle and reflexes. They make sure operations run precisely as programmed, without fail. And we have to respect this legacy of deterministic control. In these industrial environments, there is absolutely no guesswork. If a safety sensor is tripped, the machine stops instantly, 100% of the time, no exceptions. But that absolute predictability comes at a pretty steep cost of adaptability. When you're dealing with heavy machinery and volatile power grids, you absolutely need that rigid, unyielding constraint to keep things safe. The system is perfectly reliable, sure, but it only knows exactly what it has been explicitly told to do.
Section 2. The AI plot twist.
Now here's where things get super interesting. The immediate assumption in the tech world is usually a rip-and-replace scenario, the myth of AI versus the PLC. People assume the old hardware will just be thrown out to make way for a fully autonomous, cloud-based future. But the real paradigm shift happening in modern facilities is an incredibly powerful partnership. The reality is AI plus the PLC. Artificial intelligence isn't replacing the hardware. It's acting as a new, dynamic brain that sits right on top of and partners directly with those existing rigid systems. This team-up brings together the absolute best of both worlds, bridging the gap between hardware execution and software analysis. You keep the rock-solid, deterministic reliability of the PLC, that vital muscle memory that keeps things safe and moving, and you combine it with the dynamic, data-driven power of AI. It's kind of like giving a world-class athlete a master tactician as a coach. The PLC handles the split-second reflexes and physical execution on the floor, while the AI maps out the long-term strategy, predicting the opponent's moves and optimizing energy output. Together, they're building fundamentally smarter, safer, and just much more efficient operations.
Section 3. Upgrading the factory brain.
So what does this actually look like in action? The biggest transformation happening right now is a fundamental shift in time. Historically, machines were purely reactive. Something breaks, the alarm goes off, production stops, and then someone scrambles to fix it. But with AI, modern automation systems are moving from those purely reactive states to continuous learning and proactive prediction. Instead of waiting for a motor to literally burn out and halt an automotive assembly line for 6 hours, the AI system flags the anomaly weeks in advance. This allows for a seamless, scheduled replacement before any actual failure even occurs.
Imagine an operation where artificial intelligence gives you these proactive superpowers. We're talking predictive maintenance, spotting a micro vibration in a robotic arm and knowing a specific gear will fail next Tuesday. It provides intelligent fault detection, pinpointing exactly what's going wrong down to the sensor level, without human troubleshooting. It allows for real-time process optimization, autonomously tweaking the dials constantly to keep production perfectly balanced. And it even uses AI-powered machine vision, which gives the factory literal, tireless eyes to spot microscopic defects on a fast-moving assembly line that a human inspector would absolutely never catch.
And this level of system optimization scales across the entire operation. It's not just about stopping breakages, right? It's about maximizing energy efficiency, so a massive plant draws significantly less power from the grid. It's about quality prediction, making sure every single product coming off the line meets exact standards. But why does this actually matter to us? Because an energy-efficient, defect-free factory directly impacts the broader market. It stabilizes the global supply chains we rely on, drastically reduces manufacturing overhead, and ultimately it lowers costs for consumers while boosting the bottom line for producers. It transforms raw data into genuinely smarter industrial decision-making.
Section 4. Welcome to Industry 5.0.
The sheer magnitude of this shift is undeniable when we look at the evolution side by side. A legacy factory? Sure, it works, but it's basically sitting blind on a mountain of unoptimized data, relying solely on reactive, deterministic control. It can't see past its current operating cycle. But at Industry 5.0 factory, it is deeply predictive. It features continuous learning. It pairs that crucial deterministic control with adaptive AI. Adding this layer of intelligence transforms a blind, reactive facility into a continuous learning powerhouse that actively figures out how to get better, safer, and more efficient every single day.
So the crucial takeaway here is stark. Integrating this AI technology with existing PLCs is no longer a fun science experiment or an optional pilot program. It is the ultimate urgent competitive advantage. The gap between companies adopting this and those lagging behind is going to become insurmountable. And fast. I mean, if your competitor's factory is independently learning from its data, predicting its own downtime, and drastically cutting energy costs, while your facility is still waiting for a red warning light to flash, you simply cannot compete on margins, efficiency, or scale. No way.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this thought. As Industry 5.0 rapidly evolves around us, what does this mean for the future of global manufacturing? With the massive efficiencies gained by pairing the reliability of the PLC with the intelligence of AI, can any organization truly afford to be left behind? Or, more specifically, can any factory survive without a brain? Think about that the next time you see a precisely engineered product roll off an assembly line. Thanks so much for joining me today, and keep questioning how the world works.